Good morning, Charleston County Democrats. Pastor Dixon here. And I hope you're having a wonderful Monday, the first day of the week. Start off the first week of the new month of June. And I pray that you really had a wonderful weekend also. I wanted to take a minute, though, to talk about this amazing weekend that we just went through. This was our South Carolina Democratic Party's convention weekend. So there were events going on Friday the 30th and Saturday the 31st that were just truly amazing. For those who attended, thank you so very much for being a part of this amazing, not only series of events, but actually the convention that was held on Saturday, voting and everything. But for those that weren't able to make it, I just wanted to recap some of the things that happened, starting with the opening event on Friday evening, which was the opening public event on Friday evening, was the Blue Palmetto Dinner. This dinner is the staple for the night before the convention, and it's an event where Dems from across the state come together in order to share a communal meal, which was an excellent meal this year. Wow, caterers did a great job. But also to hear from amazing speakers also. On Friday, we heard from Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. The keynote speaker was Maryland Governor Wes Moore. We heard from Jamie Harrison, Congressman Jim Clyburn. As a matter of fact, our own Colleen Condon introduced Governor Walz. And so there was just a great weekend. Of course, we heard from Crystal Spain, our Madam Chairwoman of the South Carolina Democratic Party, who basically is the author, the orchestrator behind this wonderful event, this wonderful dinner. Following the dinner, the Blue Palmetto Dinner, was our good Congressman Jim Clyburn's annual fish fry, called the world famous fish fry. And it is definitely something to be a part of. Many people can't attend the Blue Palmetto Dinner because it does have a donation that accompanies it. So each year when we have the convention, after the Blue Palmetto Dinner comes the fish fry. And the fish fry is just open to everyone, free. Everything's free. Food free, drinks free, music free, of course, great music. And then speakers. We hear from our local elected officials. We hear from our candidates that are running for office. And it's just a great evening. And that extends on till about 11 p.m. at night over at the Ed Venture Museum. Just a wonderful, wonderful time. Dems loving on Dems, fellowshipping with Dems, and talking about them democratic values. And also this year, where them fans at? Yeah, all of that. But just a good time. And that was setting things up for the following morning, which opened right around, I think, 7 o'clock or 7:30, with the South Carolina Democratic women having their regular breakfast that morning. Keynote speaker, Representative Annie McDaniel from House District 41. And I'm quite sure that was an amazing keynote speech that she gave. My apologies to the South Carolina Democratic women for not attending, but I will definitely do better as we move forward, because our Democratic women are just as important to me as anybody else. Okay, for sure. And I want to make sure that you know that I fully support everything that our Democratic women are doing. Let's see. So then we move from the breakfast on Saturday morning to convention. Registration for credentials for delegates started at 8 o'clock a.m. The convention itself started at 10 a.m. And not long after getting it started, after Chairwoman Crystal Spain got it started up, because of time constraints, Governor Tim Walz from Minnesota took to the podium. And man, he gave such a rousing speech, fired up, ready to go speech that, I mean, he left nothing on the table. He left nothing on the table. He talked about our democratic values. He talked about the political climate we're in right now. He talked about how crazy it is and dangerous it is in Washington, D.C. with this under this current administration. And he also had a call to action, the same as Westmore, Governor Westmore had the night before, a call to action where we together are called to get up out of our seats and get up and do something, okay? To quote our former First Lady, Michelle Obama, do something. And that was the message all along, actually. We heard from former DNC chair and also chair of the former chair of the South Carolina Democratic Party, Jamie Harrison, who brought that same message, brought that fire, actually. And I was happy to see that in him. And then Congressman Clyburn also, that same fire. Man, what an amazing event. And as usual with our convention, we heard from some of our candidates that are running for office right now. In our U.S. Senate race against Lindsey Graham, we heard from, in alphabetical order, Dr. Annie Andrews. We heard from Catherine Fleming Bruce. We heard from Kyle Freeman, and we heard from Lee Johnson, all four of them. And then we heard from definitely a candidate that's been out here making her rounds already, our candidate for South Carolina Superintendent of Schools, Sylvia Wright. And she gave an amazing, brief address. And then an unexpected surprise came in the form of our South Carolina State Representative, Dr. Jermaine Johnson, representative from House District 52, who took to the podium in order to announce that he's launched an exploratory committee into whether or not he should run for governor of South Carolina, be the Democratic candidate for governor of South Carolina. What a refreshing note to come through at convention was him making that announcement that he's even thinking about running as the Democratic candidate for South Carolina's governor's seat. Some of you will know Representative Johnson from a few months ago when in the South Carolina House of Representatives, they were arguing about the DEI bill. And he was one. As a matter of fact, he was that one who took to the well of the House and spoke eloquently, adamantly, and vehemently about the support for white supremacy that our House Republicans were doing in supporting this anti-DEI legislation. Excuse me, I guess I should call it as it is. Diversity, equity, and inclusion legislation, because they're not against the initials. They're against diversity, equity, and inclusion. And his speech that he gave that day, once posted to social media, it went viral. To date, there's been close to 2 million views on what he said. Please go to YouTube or Google Representative Jermaine Johnson and DEI, and it will come up and you can watch it yourself. Man, he laid it out. And I can imagine the fire that he will bring to the governor's mansion and to the state of South Carolina in that leadership position if he decides to make this run for the governor of our great state. Now, let me just make a quick side note. That was basically, man, that was a large majority. Of course, we had a vote. There was a vote also taken at the convention for our third vice chair. We had two wonderful candidates. We had Michael Layer running for third vice chair, and also Ralph Prelo running for vice chair. That third vice chair is a position that has to be occupied by someone that's under the age of 39, well, under the age of 40. And both of them ran, and the vote, once the vote was taken, the vote was in favor of Ralph Prelo. Ralph is the current chair, or actually three-time, I believe it is, chair for Berkeley County, the Berkeley County Dems. And Michael is an excellent candidate. So no matter which way it goes, either one of them would have been very deserving of that seat. And I personally believe either one of them would have filled that seat and served the people with the way that the people want to be deserved, especially those under 40 who are represented by the third vice chair. But there's some disturbing things that happened, and after that, I saw people doing what they have a tendency to do, what we as Democrats have a tendency to do, was when their candidate did not win, I heard all kinds of he say, she say, and who shot John. Everybody upset because their candidate did not win. And we have got to stop that, folks. Here's what I want everybody to understand in that situation. Both of the candidates represent us and our democratic values. Neither one of them was a Republican. The Republicans are our opposition, not fellow Democrats. The Republicans are our opposition. And when our Democratic candidates run in these races according to the democratic process, because voting is a part of the democratic process now, and we have one that wins, whether that candidate is in your eyesight better than the other candidate that my eyesight might say, or vice versa, once the vote is cast and the person is selected by public opinion, by the vote, then that person is our candidate. And everybody, every Democrat should get behind that person, even the candidate who did not emerge as victorious should get behind that candidate. Why? Because we're all on the same team anyway. We're all out here fighting for our democratic values, and we're all fighting against, especially in this climate, a dangerous political system that has our nation in a chokehold that's going to literally kill people, keep our children from being educated, deny people health care, take away whatever financial benefits our country is helping those that are in need, restrict us from health care, allow guns to continue to flood into our system. The opposition, they are the person that we have a fight with. But we don't have a fight with each other. So once we have these races, let's just say in the Senate race. In the Senate race right now, we have 4 candidates: Dr. Andrews, Catherine Fleming Bruce, Kyle Freeman, and Lee Johnson, all running against Lindsey Graham. And so they're going to go to a primary. Once that primary is finished, or unless 1 or 2 or 3 of those 4 drop out of the race, which is an ideal situation, so that we don't spend a lot of money in primaries that we can use after the primary in order to invest in a campaign to defeat Lindsey, unless somebody steps aside, there's going to be a primary. And once that primary happens, one candidate is going to emerge as the candidate. Either Dr. Andrews, Catherine Fleming Bruce, Kyle Freeman, or Lee Johnson. One of them is going to be. And as those who represent, the 4 of them representing our democratic values, not Republican values, unless one is a plant, I don't know, democratic values, then from the point of the primary that one person has been separated out, it's on all of us to get behind that single candidate and not sit back talking about, well, that wasn't my candidate. I really didn't like this person. We don't need that. What we need to do, especially in this time, is to take the opposition, the Republican Party in the United States, not just in South Carolina. We need to take them to the outhouse and give them a good thrashing at the ballot box. And we can't do it running around talking about because we butthurt because our candidate did not become the candidate. No, it's the democratic process. Accept it. And there's a purpose behind that process that says, okay, once one is eliminated, then now it's time for us to all get behind that single candidate. Once others are eliminated and that one remains, it's on all of us as Democrats to get behind the Democratic candidate. We got to stop this foolishness, folks. We have got to stop this foolishness. All right, let's see. Again, if you didn't attend the convention this year, please make sure that the next time it rolls around, which would be in 2 years, I believe, please make sure that You're being active with the party, everything that we need participation. Let's just get it straight. We need participation. No longer will the club mentality be acceptable here in Charleston County, okay? We need people not to just say, I'm a member of the Democratic Party. We need people according to your time, your talents, and your treasures to step up and say, okay, here's my forte. Here's what I'm good at. Let me see how I can help the party to be successful, because we need people across the board in all kinds of different realms, all working for the benefit of the party and ultimately to get our Democrats who are in office reelected and to get new Democrats identified who are ready to run for office and to support them as they're moving forward. And we need the volunteers in order to do that. It's not a time to lay back. Again, Governor Wes Moore, Maryland, Governor Tim Walz, former vice presidential candidate with Kamala Harris, Jamie Harrison, Congressman Clyburn, Crystal Spain, everybody that spoke life into the party this weekend and saying it's time to go to work. And some will say, well, we're late. But listen, there's an old phrase that I remember that says better late than never. If it took what's going on right now for us to wake up, because they say we woke, so let's wake up and get involved. Now's the time for us to do it. And again, Charleston County, just like the rest of the counties around South Carolina, we need your help, okay? So please go to charlestondemocrats.com and sign up to receive our newsletter and to let us know how you can help, what your forte is, what your specialty is, how you want to help, so we can get back in touch with you and offer you a way to get involved. Alrighty, so some of the ways you can get involved as I'm coming to a close, I just want to read through this next set of things because it's a whole lot, okay? Starting with tonight's meeting of the Charleston County Democratic Women. That starts at 6 o'clock p.m. and it's at our headquarters. Our headquarters is located 1379 Ashley River Road. 7 o'clock tonight with the Charleston County Democratic Women. Please, women, go be part of it. Let Meryl Chapman and her team know that you want to be a part of what's going on with the Charleston County Democratic Women. Tonight, 6 o'clock p.m. They meet the first Monday of every month. Let's see, on Wednesday. Wednesday is a new group. Last week was their first meeting. This Wednesday night, 6 p.m., our Charleston County Peninsula's Dems, who was our Charleston Peninsula Dems, who have just started back up. They've resurrected after a few years of more or less silence. They're back up and running. They're up and running hard. Richie Gergel and Will Whetstone got this thing started back up. As a matter of fact, on Wednesday, they meet at 6 o'clock p.m. on Wednesday, first week of each month. And this week they have the former mayor, Democratic Mayor John Tecklenburg, is going to be speaking. They meet at City Lights downtown, City Lights East Side at 12 Line Street. And again, that's at 6 o'clock p.m. tonight. Let's see, let's move over to next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, the West Ashley Dems have their monthly meeting. And State Senator Ed Sutton is going to be speaking at their monthly meeting. That's at 7 o'clock p.m. and it's also at our headquarters. The headquarters at 1379 Ashley River Road, 7 o'clock p.m. Tuesday, June 10th, with the West Ashley Democrats. Now, of course, there's some activism going on. Following that next Saturday, June 14th, we have the Indivisibles No Kings protest. That's at 9 a.m. in Hampton Park. Okay, 9 a.m. Hampton Park for the Indivisibles No Kings protest. Saturday, June 14th. June 15th, the following day, Sunday, 50501, has their protest and rally at Brittlebank Park. That starts at 9 o'clock a.m. also. Alrighty. But that same day in the evening now, we are the Charleston County Democratic Party, and we've been promoting our annual fundraiser, the River Dogs game, for over a month now. And we still got a few tickets left, and we need you to step on up and come on, take me out to the ball game. It's Father's Day. So round up your crew, round up your dad, your husband, brother, brother-in-law, whoever fathers, and bring them on out to the ball game. Tickets are $48, and that gives you admission to the The ballpark, we'll be sitting in the Adobe deck. All of your food is taken care of. We have hamburgers, hot dogs, watermelon, chips, soda, water, tea, all kind of stuff. No alcohol now on our dime. No alcohol on the party dime. Okay, but this is a fundraiser. This is a fundraiser, and even in a fundraiser status, we don't stand to bring in a whole lot of money as a result of the fundraiser, okay? Because we didn't up price the ticket, the actual cost of the tickets a whole lot. So, but we just want to come together. Bring the kids out. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the park. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if we never get back. So it's root. Root for the Democratic Party. Come on, somebody. Father's Day with the Charleston County Dems at Joe Riley Stadium with the River Dogs. This is our annual fundraiser and more or less a fundraiser. So please think about joining us on Father's Day, June 15th. And that'll be, I arrive around 4:30 or so. I think the game starts at 5:05. Let's see what else. The next day after Father's Day, Monday, June 16th, James Island Folly Beach Dems will be meeting at the Patrick James Island Library. That's at 6:00 p.m. out on James Island. Plug in, folks. Let them know you're with us. Let them know you're ready to go to work. Check with Victor and the whole team out there and let them know that you're ready to go to work. Because we're ready to go to work for you and with you for this state in order to win this state. Let's see after that. That's Monday the 16th. The 17th, June 17th is a very solemn occasion, a solemn evening, solemn day. Because it's on that day, 10 years ago, 9 black churchgoers inside of Mother Emanuel were slaughtered because of hate that entered that church with a gun. And for myself, and there'll be a flyer available real soon. We've gathered every year after that first year, every year outside of Mother Emanuel on the night on June 17th, right around 8:30, in order to recount what happened that night from the street perspective, not the perspective that law enforcement or the politicians gave during that, but from the street perspective, because the reality is the reason why the city of Charleston did not burn down that night was because of the street people, the people on the ground, okay, that kept that from happening. So there'll be more information coming about 10 years on June 17th. And if you want to join us out there that evening, please, you're more than welcome, okay? More information to follow. So moving right along, let's see. That same night, though, Tuesday, June 17th, our North Charleston Dems, which is also recently started up. This might be their third meeting. It's either the third or the third meeting. March, April, May, June. Fourth meeting since starting back up. And they meet at 7:00 p.m. in North Charleston City Hall. North Charleston, come on out. Get involved. Michelle Brandt, man, firing it up out there. Let's see, that same night, out on Kiowa Island, Kiowa for Democracy, they meet that night at 4:00 p.m. also, okay, at 4:00 p.m. that evening. And also on that same evening, we have a town hall, State Senate town hall with State Senator Dion Tedder and State Senator Ed Sutton. And that's going to be at Redux. I don't know whether I'm saying that right. It might be Redux, R-E-D-U-X, Contemporary Arts Center at 1056 King Street. And that starts at 6:00 p.m. Town hall, whereas the other folks don't do town halls, our folks do town halls. And State Senators Dion Tedder and Ed Sutton will be at Redux, Contemporary Art Center, 1056 King Street, 6:00 p.m. on June 17th. Let's see. 2 days later, that Thursday, is our Charleston County Democratic Party monthly meeting. We meet at the same location as the office location, 1379 Ashley River Road. The doors open at 6:00 p.m. and we start the meeting at 6:30 p.m. and from 6:30 until 8:00 p.m. our meetings are running now according to schedule. This week though, at that meeting, since that is also Juneteenth and there was questions with the Charleston County Dems about Juneteenth, I've invited a friend of mine, Professor Damon Fordham, to come in and give us a few words about Juneteenth. And any of you who know Dr. Fordham or Professor Fordham, you know that his perspective on history does not necessarily tell you all of the points or only the points that everybody talks about. He gives the points that people don't normally make, and he's good at it. He's a Citadel instructor. He's a noted acclaimed author. I think he has at least 4 books out, and it's just going to be a good time with him talking to us and educating us about Juneteenth for those who might want to know. So come on out. That's again, doors open at 6 o'clock. This is June 19th, Thursday, June 19th. Doors open at 6 o'clock. Meeting starts at 6:30. We'll handle whatever business we have. Then we're going to turn it over to Professor Fordham in order to educate and enlighten us about Juneteenth. Okay. Let's see what else we got. That's on the 19th. Tuesday, June 24th, June 24th, our East Cooper Democrats are going to meet. That's at 6:30 p.m. at Greater Goodwill AME Church over in Mount Pleasant. East Cooper, come on out. Don't be sitting back. Come on out. Join in the democratic move that's underway. And then finally, let's see. No, not finally. That's Tuesday. That's that Tuesday, the 24th. On Thursday, the 26th, it's our St. Paul's Democrats out in Hollywood, Ravenel area out there, coming together, and that's at 6 o'clock p.m., and they meet at the Hollywood Library once a month. And come on, folks, get involved. If you live in Hollywood and Ravenel and you're a Democrat, you need to get on out and join in with these other folks. And if you live there and you are a part, reach out to some more folks. Ask them, tell them, hey, you got a little time to spend at the meeting? Come on with it. Let's hear about these democratic values that separates us from the rest. Now, in the spirit of 76, right? The Spirit of 76 rally, July 4th, from 11 o'clock until 1 o'clock p.m., we are hosting, myself and the Charleston County Democratic Party, along with Ralph Prelo and the Berkeley County Democrats, and Michael Frank with the Dorchester County Democrats. We are hosting the Spirit of 76 rally at North Charleston City Hall, 2500 City Hall Lane, from 11 o'clock until 1 o'clock p.m. This is going to be, as it says, in the spirit of 76. You all remember the Declaration of Independence. I encourage you to go back and go find an audio and listen to the Declaration of Independence read, and you'll understand what we mean by the spirit of 76 that this rally is. Because in this political climate we're in right now, it's about time to make some moves, okay? To join together as a force, and to stand as a force against the tyranny that we're facing in our nation right now. Again, that's from 11 o'clock until 1 o'clock, sign waving, chanting. We will have music. We'll have amplified microphones and everything. This is going to be a rally, not necessarily like your street sign waving and everything, but we're going to have a good time. It'll be family friendly. I'm asking everybody who brings signs, please make sure that you limit the profanity on them, because we hope to have kids out with them. We want to show them the democratic way too. And we don't want to necessarily restrict, anything. Our speakers will know the same thing. Our speakers, I didn't even mention the speakers. I'm working on a lineup that I'm sure you're going to stop and say, wow, because they're going to deliver that same fire that we heard at the South Carolina Democratic Party convention over the weekend. The same fire that Wes Moore brought, the same fire that Tim Walz brought, the same fire that Jamie Harrison brought, same fire that Jim Clyburn brought. They're going to bring that fire too on July the 4th at North Charleston City Hall from 11 o'clock until 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Please, please bring some folks out there. We need a big outpouring of people that day. So now, in closing, I want to give a big shout out and a big thank you, especially to my Charleston County Executive Council, Charleston County Democrats Executive Council. Okay, my first vice chair, Tamara Curry, to my second vice chair, Julie Hussey, to my third vice chair, Adrian Lett, to our treasurer, Sally Eisenberg, to our secretary, Friend Gray, and as well as to our state party executive committee members, Colleen Condon and Richard Reesix, and their alternates, George Temple and Sidney Van Bullock. Thank you all so much for your support and encouragement over this first almost 90 days that we've been moving, trying to move the needle, or 90 days that we've been trying to move the needle forward. Now we are moving the needle forward. Also, Evan Carl, who is the author of the strategic plan, who took our thoughts, put them on paper, jumbled it together, and came up with what makes sense as we continue to refine it. Now, it's not ready yet, but we are working on it. Evan, thank you. Thank you so very much. Most appreciated, okay? And also to those ladies that went to work when we had a problem just recently, I just want to give y'all a shout out. I love you all. Mimi Diaz, Gloria Landis, Madeline Adams, Sydney again, Katie Catalan, all of those who did. I know I missed somebody, and I know if I keep using names, I'm gonna miss somebody. But I want to thank you all, and I want to thank everybody, all of our Charleston Democrats. You all are amazing, amazing. And together, there's nothing that we can't accomplish when it comes to moving the Republicans out of the way. I don't care whether it's Nancy Mace. I don't care whether it's Tim Scott or it's Lindsey Graham. I don't care whether it's Donald Trump. I don't care who it might be. I don't care whether it's billionaires or trillionaires. We have the power of the people, in order to move them out of the way so we can make room for the goodwill of the people to be served, okay? For right now, we see that the Republican Party, I don't care whether they call them MAGA or they say they're not MAGA, and the Republicans who voted for Donald Trump, I don't care. They have an alternative. They can come be with us, okay? As long as they don't bring that foolishness with them. But they can come be with us. They didn't have to support what we see going on right now. And our door is open. The door to the Big Ten is open. And we hope that everybody who wants to come in, who comes in peace, who comes in love, who comes in unity, who comes in respect, who comes with the same value system that we all know that is America. If they come that way, the Big Ten is wide open. But for all of those who don't stand and represent those same democratic values, we coming for you. If you're in the office, we're gonna move you out of the way. If you're running for office, we're gonna beat you at the polls. If you're standing in the community and if you're caring, we're not gonna tolerate any of that anymore. No, we will not be silent or go softly into that good night. Nope, you're gonna hear from us. It's Pastor Dixon, chair of the Charleston County Democrats, wishing you all a wonderful day, a great week. And please reach out to me if you need to talk to me or whatever. My cell number is 843-437-1949. Or if you want to email me, it's chair@charlestondemocrats.com. Take care. Have a great week. And we'll talk to you again soon.